What's going on, GameLeapers? Coach Eag's back at it, and in this video you're going to learn how to win the jungle in 3 minutes as SHACO. I'm going to be showing you guys the fastest level 3 clears in the game and some sick Q spots that will help you backstab your enemies into FF at 15s. I get it, SHACO is a very niche champion, but after watching the next 10 minutes I guarantee you will be playing the Demon Jester in your next rank game, because who doesn't want to end games before they've even started? As always, please leave a like to help the video out, subscribe so you stay up to date with our daily uploads, and head over to our website GameLeap.com. One of the premier sites supplying you with informative league courses, guides, and videos to help you achieve your goals. Let's get into it. Steroid clear number 1. Raptors and red into KRUGS. Why is this a steroid clear? Because you do Raptors and red at the same time. You then Q to KRUGS, hit level 3, and you can gank bot lane at around 225, and in some games the enemy ADC and support will still be level 1. The reason why this clear on the next is so deadly on SHACO is because you have red buff. No other champion in league can hit level 3 this quickly when starting at red. Fiddlesticks, for example, can clear his blue side in 30 seconds, but has nowhere near the kill threat as a SHACO. Here we go. Run straight out of base towards your red side entrance and place a box down immediately. This is very important because it secures your clear. It covers you and your team, and if an enemy walks into the box, they will in most cases run away, and your start is protected. If you place the box, however, later than 34 seconds on the game timer, this clear will not work, and you will see why in a second. Place your second box on the left corner of the Raptor camp just after 50 seconds on the game time. If you place it as soon as the time hits 50, the box will die just before Raptors spawn. I know, it's very specific. What doesn't have to be specific is where you place it, as long as it's near mine. Place your next box opposite the first, on the right corner of the camp. These two boxes are activated instantly. In almost all of my games I get invaded, and the enemy team is that desperate for LP that they will run into these boxes at Raptors. In those situations you can just leave. I'm joking, of course, do not leave. It's up to you in those situations if you want to start red or rotate to blue. You just have to act on the fly. The third box is very important, and I've paused it and zoomed in so you guys can see. I place it between the lily pad furthest on the right and the start of the kite-shaped rock. There are other spots it works, but this one works for me, and I remember it the easiest. It goes without saying that this clear needs a lot of practice, but once perfected, it is deadly. Ask for a leash from your bot lane, and if they reply with the typical SHACO don't need leash, you can just leave again. No, do not leave. Stay and carry them. Stay and carry them. Make sure to backstab as much as possible and place your fourth box over the high corner of the wall when the third box is less than half HP. This is the key part of the clear, the placement and timing of the fourth box. For the timing, you're paying attention to the third box. As soon as it goes below half HP, you place the fourth box. Too soon and the big raptor will reset. Too late, and the big raptor sometimes makes it past, or just resets. Skill Q second and Q immediately over to KRUGS. Place a box as soon as you can in between both KRUGS and backstab the big one. Smite it straight away, pop one of your refills, but do not stand still and auto attack. On SHACO it is crucial you utilize your passive when clearing camps in the early game. If you don't, it becomes extremely hard to take camps. One of my accounts was actually called Calm 1v1 Gromp because of this fact. Small but important detail, when you're close to finishing KRUGS, you want to be already pathing towards bot lane. This saves time and you can place a box in line with the brush to finish off the last ones. You will hit level 3 and you are then ready to double kill bot lane. Steroid clear number 2. Raptors and red, small wolf, then blue. This is the fastest clear in the game when taking both red and blue buff. The typical blue gromp red blue gromp clears are 10 seconds slower, and I only had one person leashing. Use this clear if you want to gank top lane on blue side early on, or if you want to surprise the enemy mid laner with a very quick gank from your blue buff side. They will think you are still clearing camps and won't expect to gank so soon. This is exactly the same as steroid clear number 1 to start with. Box the potential red buff invade, 2 boxes on Raptor camp with the first being placed just after 50 seconds, the third box above the lily pad and below the rock, and the fourth on the high corner of the wall when the third box is less than half HP. Works a treat. Take Q second again, and Q immediately over the wall and turn on the jets to your wolf camp. You only need one small wolf to hit level 3 after blue. Again, this clear is so quick, as I'm sure you guys are realizing, that the enemy laners will never expect a disgusting SHACO player to appear behind them after they've just hit level 2. Place a box as soon as you can just over the close wolf wall. Auto attack it straight away, and once it gets feared, you can backstab it. Auto attack it again, Q over to the blast cone, and you're on blue buff. Same principles always apply when clearing camps, my little SHACOs. March, march, march. No, not that. Backstab, backstab, backstab. That's it. Believe it or not, while watching this, SHACO is actually a very weak champion when clearing camps with no setup from his boxes or help from his teammates, so we have to clear efficiently using our passive. I get blue buff and hit level 3 at 221 in this video, but I'm sure it could be done quicker with a stronger leash. In low elo, I think it would now be harder to not get a kill after these clears, but I'm going to give you guys some tips when ganking on the Jester. Tip number 1, hold your Q. Only use your Q when you have to. Lots of low elo SHACO players Q from Narnia and appear out of invisibility still a long way away from the enemy champion. This is very important because it's your only gap closer on SHACO, meaning if we waste it, we then can't catch up to the enemy if they dash or flash away. Also, it's our only form of escape before level 6, so if we use it too early and get caught, we die and rage quit. I've coached countless SHACOs and this is one of the most obvious mistakes I see. Yes, it's very potent if we can get behind an enemy champion when deceived, but sometimes it's better just to copy all the other champions in the game and just walk into the lane we're ganking, holding on to Q. Tip number 2, hold your E. Similarly, lots of SHACO players like to use their E like it's a nerf. When ganking an enemy champion, you want to use your 2-shift poison after they have flashed or tried to escape. It slows them and does more damage the lower they are. It's an execute, and if you're going AP with Dark Harvest, the damage is quite disgusting when ahead. Probably shouldn't actually say that because Riot will nerf him again, but we're used to it at this point, so. Both of these tips sound very elementary, but I know for a fact that you guys either are using them inefficiently or will use them inefficiently. I'm here to help fam. Now let's get into the Q spots for the early game that only I and a few other SHACOs know about. Q spot number 1, the V. The V is referring to the shape in the wall from where we Q from. Most SHACOs will Q from this side of the rock and headbutt the wall and break something, or get over the wall but get hit and or seen by the enemy tower. There is a way to Q into bot lane by evading the tower range and vision so you don't get seen. Even good supports who are paying attention to the map won't expect anything like this. Let's freeze it and zoom in. The outline of the wall comes to a point, highlighted here, and this is the point of the V. Pretty clever, right? This is where we hover our cursor and right click. SHACO will push his knees into the wall almost, and that's when you know it's go time. If this catches challengers out, it will definitely catch everyone else out. Notice how far I get in the lane, almost halfway. It guarantees a box placement behind the enemy bot lane and at least summoner spells. It's actually very important to practice this because if you fail it, you might get unlucky and meet the enemy jungler without your Q, a certain death. You might also bait your bot lane after pinging them to go in, and you get spam pinged. But you're also wasting time. And that is of the essence on the Rift. Q spot number 2, the waterfall jump. Not as effective as the V jump, but still pretty darn good. This spot also requires you to know a couple of specificities. You can cheat the river brush. What I mean is you can walk outside the brush but still be invisible, and this is where we need a Q from to cut the entire wall. You then aim your cursor along the line going from one side of the wall to the other, and in between the rock in the middle and the inside of the wall. To do this in real time is very difficult and takes a ton of practice. You can of course fail this in multiple ways, queuing from too far away and not hovering your cursor in the correct spot. Q spot number 3, the mid wall hop. This is one of the most effective Q jumps in the game, but not enough SHACO players use it. You can get across to the other side of the lane unseen and give yourself that much of an opportunity to set up a box and get in the perfect position to backstab. If you were to level 2 gank or gank mid after steroid clear number 1, this would be how to do it. Hug close to the wall in the brush, it doesn't have to be right alongside it, and aim your cursor over the fire in the wall. This essentially cheats the structure of the wall and sends you out over it. You're further into the lane during your first second of invisibility, making the gank even more impactful, which is a common theme with these Q spots. If you Q from too far back or away from the wall, you will either headbutt it or get sent over to the other side. The turret will see you, and time is again wasted and everyone on the map knows where you are. Just want to show you that you cannot do it from the top side brush unless you run out of the brush before queuing. But at that point the enemy laner has probably reached safety. Still useful to know though. Q spot number 4, under the tree jump. Despite being a similar wall to the wall we use for the V, this is impossible to make it over without being seen by the tower. Good thing is that we don't have to be spot on with our pre-Q position. I like to remember this tree in the wall and to try get SHACO underneath it. After that, simply aim diagonally over the wall and you're ready to initiate. You can fail this jump queuing from too wide, or if you try to cut a lot off the wall. Better just to play it safe and get over. Q spot number 5, the stream jump. This is a very common wall we use to queue over, but it has its intricacies. You cannot get over the wall if you try to queue from the bottom stream of water. You headbutt it and cut your distance. You have to be above the first stream to get over the wall completely, or if you want to end up on the other side. Knowing both of these is also important because a gank might require one over the other depending on the enemy laner's positioning. Q spot number 6, the rock jump. This is the waterfall jump's twin, just an easier one. You can cut most of the wall by hugging the wall in the top river brush and aiming your cursor on the other side. There are no cheats here, and shouldn't take long to practice, but is still very useful and will definitely work in your games. I hope you enjoyed this mini SHACO guide as much as I did making it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe so you don't miss a beat, and check out GameLeap.com. If you're serious about getting the most out of League, then our website is your first stop. Videos, courses, guides made by Challenger players and coaches designed specifically for you. So don't miss out. This has been Coach Iggs. Until next time, peace.